Hello, this is Joe, and you're listening to the Oh Gatekeeper podcast, where every week I'll be talking to my people about what gets them up in the morning, what their purpose is, and why they make things. Hopefully, it will inspire you to do the same. Thank you. You can get episodes early and without advertisements over at ohgatekeeper.com, as well as weekly bonus episodes, playlists, and my Joe and Friends series. Enjoy. This week on Oh Gatekeeper, I have the bizarre privilege of introducing our guest, which is the legendary skateboarder, what boards on skates, can do ollies for days, kickflip 370s, and all the things on wheels. His name's Tony Hawk, and you better remember it, brothers and sisters. Whoop whoop. How are you?
I'm good. Kind of just rushing from one thing to the next right now because we are releasing a game here in July, and I am surprised and excited about the amount of stuff that I am expected to do or that I choose to do leading up to that. Um, it's crazy.
In terms of promotion or in terms of
Uh, yeah, promotion still testing too. Last minute things. I mean, it's strange to be doing it in this day of technology compared to when we were working on CDs. Like
yeah.
literally, I would get a burned CD in the mail every week 20 years ago, and then I would play the game and make suggestions, and then they'd FedEx me another CD in a week, and now it's all in real time, and so we're able to change things and fix things on the fly,
Mm.
um, which I'm not used to, but also it adds a whole different element of urgency.
And opportunity to overthink. Have you like
Yes.
I had this thing
Oh,
where
so much. Yeah.
like a snare sound, and you're like, I don't think it's the right snare sound, and then a month later, you're like, who gives a fuck what the snare sounds like?
Yeah.
What kind of things are you what kind of things are you working on in the last minute, if you don't mind me asking? What kind of things would it be?
Honestly, the last thing was music.
Aha.
Because there were some last minute additions and I was trying to sneak a couple things in. Um, and at some point, they finally cut me off from the deadline, which was understandable. But there's
Okay.
so much good music coming out right now, and I was just like, "Oh man, this would be perfect." You heard that latest Eka Vandal single?
Of course, yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that came out, and that was the last straw for them. They're like the cutoff. We already locked it in. I was like, man, but
Ah,
this is a good one.
shout out to Echo Vandal. They actually played. We
Yeah.
played with them recently.
Oh,
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, amazing band. I'm actually one band I think that's kind of really blown my mind recently that everyone seems to be listening to and different. Like because we just recorded with Kenny Beats and he's been working with Geese. Have you heard Geese?
No.
A fucking amazing band, incredible live. If they're playing LA, which they probably often do, you should check them out. Incredible live band, incredible records. He's been working with them, but we were both like connecting on this band called Yahweh Nail Gun, spelt YWYHWH Nail Gun. But just beautiful new sound, very experimental, but fuck, like some magic energy. I think you'd enjoy
Oh,
them.
wow.
Mm, mm.
I'll check them out. Glad I didn't know about them a
Yeah,
month
yeah.
ago
Sorry.
because I'd be scrambling to get more in.
Great. Well, I guess I'll explain why I've got you in. The concept of my podcast is a very simple one. It started with conversations I've had. I used to do like lots of Q&As and shit where people would ask me questions, how creative people questions, and I felt like I went away giving advice or trying to help in some way, and I felt like I accidentally kind of gate kept because it's like, well, the advice I gave is from a very privileged point of view, which is that I've succeeded in many ways. I have a loyal audience. I've worked my ass off. I've had things happen that made me think in certain ways. And so I'm in a different position. And I wanted to try and encourage people to find a way that they can express themselves, go out there and find something that makes them feel whole, work on something creative, just basically come out and connect to the universe in some way in order to feel better. Make shit feel good. Don't make shit feel unheard, basically. And I wanted to kind of go to people that I feel have inspired me in some way or is creative, or people, and also people see as successful, you know, whether it's like top of the food chain or it's just I'm like me, I'm touring the world with my mates. That to me is fucking success. and
Yes,
the,
that's
and
living the
the,
dream.
exactly. So I just wanted to get behind people's brain and kind of in a therapeutic way ask some questions about their creative language and the stamp they've made on the world and how they got there in certain ways, as easy and as relaxed as I'll make it, although I do have to check my phone for questions so that I don't fuck it up.
That's okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll have to check mine for answers.
Yeah, hey, no cheating, sir. Come
No.
on, don't fuck about. No, all right. So, I just wanted to get you in the mindset. Really, it's like imagine we're just trying to get behind your creative language because I think yours is a very distinct one and a very interesting one, especially on a podcast. A lot of them are going to be musicians, artists.
Yep.
I think from your perspective is that something that I took away from coming to see you is that there's a very distinct narrative that you hold that you had when I was at the Birdhouse, as in your big
Hmm.
fucking giant beautiful skate park
Yeah.
office, skateboard museum, and
It's my happy
also
place.
yeah, and mine now. Thank you. But also, when you came to our show and all your family were there, it felt really similar. It felt like you've cultivated something. That's a word I've used because I learned it from my friend Laurie from another podcast I did earlier. You've cultivated something that is yours and distinctly yours, and I'd love to get behind that. Um,
Sure.
we'll start if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, how would you describe your creative language and what you've put out to the world as Tony fucking Hawk?
Um, huh. My creative language, I would think that, well, my language, my art form is expressed through skateboarding. And it's definitely it is my life. It's been my life since I was 12 years old. I started skating when I was 10, but I would say like I devoted myself to it at age 12, which I
Mm,
had no idea that that would be a career choice because from my perspective and the general populace, once you reach an age of responsibility, you can no longer ride a skateboard. One, because you're too old, and two, because there is no career in it. So I didn't think I was choosing a future. I just thought this is what I want to be doing instead of the usual baseball, basketball that the kids my age were doing.
mm,
But in terms of what I put out there, I love tinkering. I think that's the best explanation with
mm,
what is possible in this realm with a board with four wheels under your feet, above your feet, away from your feet, coming back to you, or combined maneuvers. And most of them aren't going to move the needle. They're not groundbreaking necessarily in terms of what the non skater or the casual skater sees,
mm.
but they give me a sense of accomplishment and a sense of I don't know, it's always given me this sense of that I'm producing something, and that's enough.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, from what it sounds like, obviously, when you started at the age of 12, like you say, there wasn't this like thing that there is now, where it's like there's a
No,
career behind this. There was no careers
no. I
behind
mean, when I started skating, it was the furthest thing from cool you could do,
it. Really
and
cool.
yeah, yeah, because it had already come and gone as a fad or a trend.
Okay.
So it was to the outsider the equivalent of still playing with yo-yos or
Oh,
frisbees.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't have anything against either one of those either. I'm just saying like
Well, yeah,
that
yeah.
was the stigma, and it was like, haven't you outgrown that? I'm 11,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I haven't outgrown anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then when I got into high school is when I started to find some success in my actual skating. Like I was competing, I was doing well, I had a sponsor, um, and I was a ghost in the hallways of school. In fact, I hid my skateboard in the bushes before class because if I walked around campus with it, it was just a target. It was like a
Really?
bully fodder.
Wow.
So I would hide my skate. And on paper, I'm a professional skateboarder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Already. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was a weird paradox. I didn't think of it as anything else because that's all I knew.
Mm.
But then after school, I'd get my skateboard, I'd skate home, I would get a ride to the skate park and spend all day there until they closed or until my parents got off work.
Mm.
And that was my focus. But in those moments, I was learning the whole time. You know,
Mm.
like it was all incremental, but I was always learning new techniques. I was always challenging myself and feeling a sense of pride, even though it was hard to share with anyone.
Mm. Yeah, it's because it's an interesting one because it's sort of there's really it's a sense of athleticism as well behind it. That dedication of these micro changes you're talking about that
Yeah,
then become that I wouldn't pick up on. You know, like things we were talking about
sure.
when there were guys skating at your place. It was like I couldn't tell the difference between the nuances of why they fucked up the first time and why they didn't. And you could tell you were
Yeah.
explaining things to me, and that was great. But over a sense of time, what you've added to the world, or what is a sense of maybe that it's a dedication to it, and those
I hope so.
that hyper focusing on the smaller progressions, like any sport, you know,
Yeah.
is
But
that
also
there's
that it can be a great connector.
mhm.
I mean, skateboarding is not elitist.
No.
It doesn't work. It's low cost of entry. Get a skateboard, you're in. That's
Mm,
it.
mm,
And especially in the last 5 to 10 years, has become one of the most inclusive communities you could ever experience.
mm,
So I think that I'm just as focused on trying to advocate for that.
mhm,
And like when you say, I don't know, someone else told me this. They're like, you've molded your interest to force it into a career.
mm,
And hallelujah. I mean, for me, you know, I can pick and choose what I want to do. I have that. Like I have, yeah, I have success, but I'm just saying, like, I'm more focused on what is going to be for the betterment of skateboarding in general, for more access,
mm.
for more international recognition, whatever it is. And then I get to kind of be very picky on the things that I involve myself with, all the while walking the walk and skating. I mean,
Mhm.
I like as soon as we're wrapping, I'm going to the ramp to try to make this fucking trick that I was trying yesterday that I got too tired to make one.
Well, that's one
And
of
I
the
mean,
questions.
it's obsessive. Like it's not even. I don't even know if it's healthy.
I mean that's the $1 million question, isn't it? When you love something so much, same as music, you know, it's like when you get up in the morning and you have a purpose, and it seems like an obsession to the outside. I think it's more a purpose. What is everyone's purpose? And that haven't found what they love, what they got. My granddad's was, I sort of mentioned it in the last episode. It was like building miniature Japanese gardens out of tin cans, and he used to be an engineer, and then in retirement would like build all these miniature gardens. I don't know, tinkering his shed, but Rather that than, wake up and not want to explore what it is that makes you tick, right?
Yeah, but and also that's a healthy creative outlet. I think,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mine is it feels healthy when it's successful, but when it's not, it's painful, and I'm not doing
Yeah,
my body any
I,
favors.
I can't imagine. Well, one of the questions I have about people that perform is how old they feel. How old do you feel when you get on the board?
That is my zen. That's my happy place. So as soon as I get on it, everything else is kind of gone. Any stress, any outside worries,
Mm,
and I'm in complete control. That's what it is.
mm.
Like I am in control of which direction this goes, how it gets in the air, um, where it leads me, what I'm going to do next,
Mm.
and I mean that's the dragon that I've been
Mm.
chasing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Would you say how much of your upbringing and your youth do you think is carried through in your narrative as a business? This idea of sustaining a sense of community. Did that come out? Did you want that as when you were young, or is that something that you brought because obviously the skating community is a very strong one around the world? There's one,
I think,
you know.
well, when I was younger, I always felt a bit like an outcast because I was skinny, I was nerdy, like I was in the gifted program, which wasn't really celebrated, by other
Mm,
students. And so I didn't really connect that well. I was okay at sports, but in no way was I the star athlete. So I never felt like I was fitting in. And then when I found skateboarding, I went to a skate park, which I was very lucky that San Diego had a skate park at the time because there was maybe I don't know less than 10 in existence in the U.S. in the world even.
wow.
So I got very lucky that one of the last remaining ones was in my hometown. And
Mm,
when I got there and I saw people literally flying out of pools and the attitude, the energy, the music. I mean, that's where I first heard uh, Devo, Circle Jerks, X, Black Flag. Um, the Cramps, the Germ, like everything was just. It was all new and it was so exciting, and it
mm,
was like I want to do this. I want to be part of this crew, and I was really young, so it was hard to gain any kind of acceptance. One, because I was so little. Two, because my skating was not flowing and cool looking. It was very robotic because that's all I had. So I
mm.
was focused on tricks, which was not the cool style of skating. So I'm already like I'm an outcast as a kid in elementary school
Yeah.
because of my body style and my interests and whatever. And then I get to skateboarding. I love skateboarding. You are already an outcast if you skateboard. And then
Mm,
I'm an outcast in the small skateboarding world because the way I do it. So I kind of got used to being isolated in terms
mm,
of of my approach of looking for any validation. That was off the table,
mm.
but I didn't care.
Did you think that helped you in the long run, though, as that sense of isolation? It seems like you've
I think
turned it
so.
round.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because I got used to I got used to just ignoring the haters, so to speak.
Mm,
But it was way different back then. I mean, this is late '70s, early '80s. Like it's not haters that are talking shit online. It's people to your face, threatening you
real shit.
to yeah, real shit, like threatening to beat you up if you go skate this bowl again. One uh one pro famously like spit on me.
No,
Yeah,
fucking.
because I was like kind of in his space in the scene because I was trying to find any kind of validation.
Have you
And
named
then
and
if
shamed them
that was kind
before?
of the turning
Which
point.
cunt was that? What cunt was that? Spitting on you. Come on.
He's fallen on hard times. I'm not gonna throw
Okay,
him
all
under
right.
the bus, but
Shout out
well,
to
I
that
mean,
twat.
people know. But anyway,
Yeah.
but it was more like,
Mm.
oh, I get it. I'm not. I will never be part of this clan or be accepted as one, and I've got to do my own thing. That was kind
It,
of. I mean, it was almost a favor to me.
mm. Yeah. I mean that idea that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I wonder just how much, because like you, the sense that like the inclusiveness that you have cultivated, right? That you have, even just accessibility, things like the computer game. I don't know how much of that was your birth child, but what it means to a lot of people. But more so, like what I see from you as a person and what you've cultivated and what I've witnessed in real life. It's like a sense of family, and like,
Oh
like
yeah.
I was trying. Everyone that like my friends are like, you were there. I'm like, yeah, I was sitting there. Like, what was it? I was like, you don't understand. It's like he hasn't got loads of fucking people just in the building doing everything for him. There's still a small unit of people who are friends and were friends before and will be friends after. That were, when I was like, hey, could I get a board for my friend? Tony was the one out the back in the warehouse bit finding the board and getting it out for me and signing it. It wasn't like, he was like, yeah, my people will sort you out the door. And I think that's cultivated from a sense of determination about like sustaining a family beyond just not just your family, but like, and that probably comes from that sense of isolation, no?
Yeah, a bit. I think that skateboarding has always been do-it-yourself attitude,
Right. Yeah.
right? From all the way from making skateboards, creating moves, creating techniques, and I mean, you've probably seen it through the world, like creating spaces to skate in a
Mm,
renegade way. Like there are skate parks that exist that were never approved by the city, that were never, they were never earmarked to be a skate space. People just
mm,
went and started pouring concrete, and sometimes it just ends up being acceptable because
mm,
it's like too big to get rid of. It's too much folklore involved.
mm,
There's there's one in London. There's one in Portland. There's one in Philadelphia. They were like, it was just the skaters that were desperate to have a place and was like, fuck it, let's just build a skate park.
mm.
And I think that attitude carries through. I mean, skateboarding has always been very against the grain. When you talk about athleticism, I skated as my antithesis to being an athlete
Right.
because I didn't fit into the general
Mm,
average athlete persona or attitude. I was not going to work out. I hated listening to coaches. Um,
mm,
I wanted to do the thing when I wanted to do it. And skateboarding was like, it was this perfect scenario that I found where it's like, oh, I get to be part of this crew, but I can do it on my own terms, in my own style, whenever I want, and still be part of it, even though my style of skating wasn't well liked. There
mm,
were enough people, especially my age, that kind of had the same attitude. So I did have support.
mm. And so, with that in mind, because I remember you were telling me there's a kiddie there that blows your mind a lot, that's skating at the moment, skates at your place quite a bit. It just pulls shit off that you've never seen anyone pull off. And I'm like,
Yeah,
do you believe in a sense? Do you believe such a thing as genius?
sure, I think so. I mean, it's in the eyes of the beholder, right? Especially with something as subjective as skateboarding or an art form. But absolutely, I mean, I see glimpses of genius all the time in terms of what we do.
Mm,
But there's so many other elements wrapped up in that. There's a daredevil aspect.
mm,
There's a creative aspect. There is style, and you can't I don't know. You can't really curate style. It's
No.
something that's just inept. It's something that just flows out of you. And sure, you can start to harness it in or watch something and realize like, oh, I don't want to throw my arms like that or whatever it is, but it's not something that comes naturally. I mean, it is style comes naturally. Trying to cultivate a style does not.
Where do you see your at current time your worth as a creator within not the brand but you as a skater? Your worth and what you've
Um,
added to the world of skating and beyond.
yeah, I guess I would focus my worth more on being an ambassador for skateboarding
Mm.
and reaching an audience that perhaps doesn't know about it or hasn't embraced it, hasn't accepted it, because and largely thanks to a video game series, my name resonates beyond just the world of skateboarding.
Mm.
And so, if I'm going to not take advantage of that, but to utilize that as a voice, I'm going to do it in the best way I can. And I learned that way early on when our video game series first came out, because suddenly the name Tony Hawk did not just represent me as a person,
Mm.
but as this franchise. But it got me in the door of places that I never imagined that we would be able to get to in terms of a skateboard industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you, how much of a hand do you have in the kind of soundtrack now? How, I mean, I know we talked about it when I saw you, but for everyone listening, what
Oh,
from the start to finish, what's your kind of take on it?
um, well, I'm very much involved,
Mm.
and ultimately I would have final say. I do have
See?
final say, but I am open to all kinds of suggestions. I mean, if you're looking at just the history of our soundtracks, I would say my biggest contribution to the soundtracks was the older, like the OG punk rock stuff.
Mm.
When they would suggest newer things, when you're talking about like Goldfinger and Millencolin, I mean, yes, we're 20 plus years on now, but back then I wasn't as familiar with those bands. I mean, I knew them,
Mm.
but my love was steeped in that original 70s, early 80s punk sound, and I felt like that was something that we could celebrate and get more exposure to that type of music. But it was more because um, it was more because like that was to me the culture of skateboarding. It went hand in hand.
Mm.
So if we're going to make a game that represents skateboarding in all of its respects, then I want to have music a big part of that. And so that was probably the most innate part of it for me. The rest of it, the mechanics of the moves and the tricks and stuff, that was the hard stuff. But the music was like, that was easy. That was just off the cuff. In fact, even to this new soundtrack, because now we're so many years on, and I love newer bands like Idols, and I get to include that as well. And so
Mm.
this one has probably been the most personal to me.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, I finally got a Gang of Four track on the soundtrack. That is huge
finally.
to me.
Which one?
Yeah. Um. Uh. Oh, what is it?
Damaged
Damaged
Goods.
Goods. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, great tune. Oh, we covered
I
that.
mean, I threw at least three out there.
Yeah, yeah.
At home he's a tourist. But
Oh, that's
ultimately,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a great song. Yeah, I mean that must be quite the fun bit because it's like a personal thing, and I guess the skateboarding side, you're way more invested in the accuracy of it. Is that how it works? Like,
Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, the legitimacy of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who do
But
you think?
it's a big net now. It's a wide, it's a big umbrella in terms of what does qualify as punk, or what is the sound that our soundtrack is identified with. And that's not just punk, it's a lot of hip hop too. It's a lot of rock,
Yeah.
like AC/DC, Motorhead. I mean, all that stuff. And it's crazy to think that people consider that a genre. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Where you
great.
could have De La Soul, Public Enemy, Motorhead, Johnny Cash,
Mm.
and Circle Jerks and
Do you
Dead
think?
Kennedys.
But when you say all those people, if you think about it, there's a correlation there. Like you say, the accessibility of getting a board, you can if you want a board, you can find one. And
Yep.
eventually, I'm not saying it's easy for everyone, but I can imagine how empowering it is. But I can't skate, and I never will be able to. But I've been watching skate videos since I was like 8, and I understand that freedom because I get it in other ways. And there is a correlation with all those records you say.
Oh, for sure. I think they were all well, definitely all renegade artists
Yeah.
and all going against the grain, just doing what they love because they found joy in it.
Mm.
And eventually other people caught on, and I was happy to celebrate it. I mean, I think a perfect example is, did you did you hear the history of the Clash narrated by Chuck D?
No.
That's one of the greatest podcasts I've ever heard.
Wow. Is it over a bunch of episodes?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, but also
great.
just the fact that someone like Chuck D
Mm.
found these parallels
Yeah,
and
yeah,
kindred spirit
yeah.
with Joe Strummer and with Mick Jones. Like it's amazing, and it makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, it does. I gravitated towards certain things when I was a kid, and I didn't really understand why. Hip hop being the main one, actually. Like I kind of grew up listening to hip hop when no one else was. Where I grew up. I grew up in like a place called Devon. Where I live now is not too far away. Dean Lane. You skated Dean Lane
Yeah,
back in the day.
yeah.
Um,
There was a ramp there.
Shout out to Dean Lane Hardcore. Nothing meaner than the Deaner. You should come back one day. I'll make you dinner.
I'm supposed to be coming back when this game is released. Actually,
Is it? What, to Dean Lane?
yeah. Well, no, I just mean to London,
I
but
was going to say, what the fuck? Well, I tell you what we'll see. Let's see if we can get you to
and
Dean
forgive
Lane.
my ignorance if Dean Lane is not that close to London proper, but
Is in comparatively to where you are. I mean,
it's pretty
where I
close.
drove from the airport in LA to your gaff,
Yeah,
or not your gaff, but the one of the gaff. The skate. Is it? Is it? It's not the birdhouse. I called it the birdhouse, but it's not the
it's fine.
birdhouse.
It's my office. I mean,
Your office. Well,
Birdhouse is one of the companies that is run through that office. So
yeah, exactly. So I mean, your office was about half a journey to London. It's not that far.
right.
But yeah, Bristol is a beautiful place, and it's got a beautiful skate scene. And
We actually did a exhibition on the beach in Bristol about 10 years ago.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty
well,
cool.
yeah. I mean, it's just a great place, but it's also somewhere it's a bit too much fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So what was I gonna? I had two more questions for you, if you don't mind. Are you good with that?
Yeah, man.
One thing I was curious because it's just like it's easy to talk about the good stuff, and I worry about giving people this like mindset where it's like listening to all these podcasts where it's like dudes that are fucking talking about being lone wolves and all that, and like this is how you make your millions. And what I really want to do is just
Yeah.
encourage people to get out the door and find themselves in whatever it is it is. And one of the things is is seeing things from the other perspective. When you're fucking 85, or imagine your 85-year-old self now, what would they tell you to cut back on right now?
Oh, wow.
What would they say? Just take a step back.
Yeah. I would say, well, abusing my body.
Oh yeah.
in various ways. One, through skateboarding, um, you know, not excessive drinking, not excessive eating,
Mm.
but that is something I've already told myself. I kind of learned that lesson a little while ago, because I was just kind of running things like I was Peter Pan. I was
Mm.
still doing all the hard tricks, and I was still uh, running on no sleep, and going to this event, and going to this, and traveling and traveling, and
Mm.
at some point I fucked around and found out, and it all came crashing down, literally crashing down.
I can
Like I was
imagine it was a
skating,
proper crash. Yeah.
I was skating, I was doing a McTwist, which is a trick I've done
Hmm.
thousands of times, and didn't have enough speed, but didn't care because I don't have a problem with this. I can figure this one out. I've done it so many times. And then next thing I know, I'm sliding across the bottom of my ramp with my leg broken in half,
Mm.
literally dangling behind me. And the recovery was kind of muddled. My bone never really aligned itself properly because I wouldn't stop skating.
Ah, you naughty
So
man. You're a naughty man.
yeah, so 8 months, 9 months into my recovery, I had to have it reset again, like go back into surgery, take the hardware out, put new hardware in, force the bones back into place. And it was in those moments that I realized, like, you've got to you got to take it slower.
Mm.
This you're so lucky. This is me telling myself that. So
Hmm.
if
Mm.
it could be at 85 or me at 54, but it was more like, you're so lucky you still get to do this. Why do you have to push it to such extremes?
Yeah.
And I had to come to terms with that. And for the most part, I did. I mean, I'm still skating at a level where people think, like, why would he still do that at his age? But I've been doing this a long time.
Mm.
I for the most part, I got this. So I'm exploring more low impact techniques, stuff that is fun for me, gives me that same sense of accomplishment and validation, but doesn't put myself at great risk. But also beyond that, I had to start working out. I had to start eating right. Like all those things, it all happened all at once. It's hard to explain, but that was the tipping point.
Mm.
And now, I mean, I literally I was just working out before talking to you.
Mm.
I was dressed like this in the garage. Uh, I make sure I get enough sleep.
Mm.
I stay on schedule with eating, and I watch what I eat way more than I used to, and all that stuff I learned the hard way. And I don't know if I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't broken my leg. It could have been way worse. I mean, that was my
Yeah.
wife's attitude too. She's like, it could have been so much worse because
Mm.
you were still running it so carelessly.
Absolutely. It's yeah. It's almost a silver lining to what could have been a
Sure,
fucking
yeah,
horrendous cloud. Yeah.
but what you're saying is, it's not. There's not some magic formula that this is how you get successful. Like I did this for years for no income. I
Yeah.
just love doing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and now I do it for more money than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
But that's not the point.
No.
And yes, I'm very lucky because I can choose. I don't have to take every single odd job just to make ends meet anymore.
Mm.
And so I feel very blessed, but I feel very lucky for that.
Mm.
And I'm not going to blow this second chance.
No. Great. I think, I think one of the things I'm going to find as a correlation with all the people I speak to in terms of, success is that you just got to work hard at what you love. And if you love it, working hard comes easy. That dedication, that getting up in the morning with purpose is just going to get you out of fucking bed because you got to do that trick. You've got to finish that song.
Yeah, or whatever your passion is,
Yeah.
if you can make that your living, that is
Yeah.
living the dream.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to come with great financial reward. It will just give you a sense of peace and happiness, and you'll love going to work. And that to me is the sign of success. Like I love my work.
Mm. I love your work too.
I mean, it's not always easy,
No,
and
fuck no.
sometimes it's exhausting, and sometimes it's painful, and you know, you like you're on tour and you're feeling shitty, and it doesn't matter. This date is scheduled.
Yeah.
You know, the crowd is there. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, some of the states I've been in, and I don't mean like in drugs and alcohol. I haven't been drunk on stage for over a decade. I stopped getting
Yeah.
pissed drunk before shows a long time ago. But some of the, like, I remember once I had like gastritis or something, and I literally passed out, blacked out, just on the sofa, vomiting, and I was convulsing, and I was just like, what? So I kind of like just my body just shut down, and I got woken up just given a can of Coke, some painkillers, just went on stage. It's like, oh, have you seen the footage of Frankie Valli recently?
No.
It's fucked. The guy is like,
Yeah.
I saw him at the Grammys, and but like, he's just propping him up on stage, and he's like, anyway, but yeah, I felt
Yeah.
like that.
Well, but there's something to be said for that. Like, you know, you become the machine, and everyone wants to keep the machine running, but at what cost? I
Exactly.
feel
And
that for sure.
I guess one of the things about cultivating something beautiful, as you have, like surrounded by your family, so to speak, literally and figuratively, is that you trust the advice you get given around you. When someone goes, I think it's time you took a step back for a bit and fucking looked after yourself, you listen because they care about you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Well, I've got one more question for you and a big thank you, kiss and hug for you. Thank you very much. But the question, the last one is death row dinner. You got $40. I think that's still the going rate in America. You got $40 for a death row dinner. What would your death row dinner be, Tony Hawk?
Oh man. Oh, that is just that's like harder than saying what's your favorite band.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because no one cares about bands. Fuck them.
but there's just so many choices.
Oh no, no, it's just
Uh,
idols, isn't it? It's just straight
what's
up.
that? Of
It's
course.
just
Yeah,
idols.
that's it. That's just straight off the top. Clash is a close second, but you know.
Fuck who? Who?
Wow, that's man. What? Okay, death row dinner. Let's see. Um, I honestly, I lived on Taco Bell for years through
Mhm.
my slow years.
Okay.
Um,
As
like
in
I had,
before you broke your leg?
yeah. No, I'm talking about like when times were lean.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
$5 a day was like two bean and cheese burritos, no onions, a soda drink, or just get the water cup and fill it with soda when they're not looking. You know the
Whoa.
drill.
You
Yeah,
naughty.
it
You
was
are a
like
naughty
that.
man. Tony,
What's that?
you fucked up. You're a naughty man, I say.
So I'll go. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with three crunchy tacos with the hot sauce. Uh, I would probably. Usually I would get an iced tea, but you know we're death row, so I'm gonna probably get a soda.
No, you can have a nice tea. This is imaginary. You're not going. No one's going to execute you, mate. You have
Oh,
whatever
well, you
you
said
want.
death row.
Yeah, but you can have a nice
Okay,
tea.
okay, and chocolate shake.
Oh,
Chocolate shake with vanilla ice cream, but chocolate syrup. Not that. Not a chocolate ice cream shake.
okay,
Very
yeah.
specific.
Is that from somewhere specific that you would get it, or is it just your own chocolate syrup milk?
I probably just make it myself. Well, you know what? I've gotten a more prim and proper version of that, and these days, so I would go with an affogato because I'm so world traveled now.
Come on, yeah, I love
Yeah,
an affogato, man. Come on.
so great.
Mm.
I'll never forget the first time I had it, and I was like, "Where has this been all my life?
I saw one of
Coffee and
these.
ice cream? Are you kidding me?"
It's smart, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so great.
There's I don't know where I think it's in Rome where they've got this like square cup and they're like, have you seen it?
Oh,
It's like,
I've seen it.
yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah, got
smart,
to
man.
go there.
But that's what
You and
shall we?
me, meet you there.
I'll meet you at Dean Lane and then we'll drive over to Rome.
Okay. Me as an American thinking that's probably totally a doable drive in
No,
a
it
couple
is.
hours.
It actually is.
Yeah.
It's better than driving through fucking Kansas. I'll tell you that. All right. Well, man, it's lovely to see you again, and thank you so much for your time and your honesty and your
Oh, thank
openness.
you.
It's a privilege to have you. I'll give you a shout when I'm next in LA. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Many blessings.